What gives you the right to this confrontation? It's a violation of the conversation. Just because I don't talk like you, or walk like you, or dress like you, or smell like you, you're too filled with hate to keep your facts straight. Where's your evidence? Ha! Too late.
It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
I am Des Clark and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. Now, over 2 metres away from me this week are stand-up Jay Lafferty and with her writer and performer Raymond Mearns. And facing them is comedian Jo Caulfield, and she's joined by writer and stand-up Gareth Wall. And in the news this week, a saxophonist has been filmed serenading residents in a quiet Edinburgh street. One local resident asked him if he knew Baker Street, and when he said yes, he was told to go and play there instead. Police in Louisiana are looking for an aggressive chicken that is chasing people and trying to get into vehicles. Officers say the last sighting was it fighting with an egg over who arrived first. And Boris Johnson has pledged to administer 200,000 tests a day by the end of May in the hopes of discovering which UK residents are or are not his children. Let's do it. Let's crack on with round one. So this is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess the two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. And Jay and Raymond, can you tell me our first story, please?
Nicola Sturgeon is looking for
Edinburgh's seaside suburb of Portobello, where business owners have been experiencing
the Scottish people. So over to you.
We've seen lengthy queues forming outside supermarkets.
I wear a mask, and yesterday I popped into a shop. Someone thought it was funny.
Interesting times.
Jay, what are you thinking then? Any ideas of what the first story might be?
So I think our first story is all about the lockdown and the paper that the Scottish Government have put out, kind of saying, you know, how we're going to reintroduce ourselves back into society, like kind of pandas to the wild. As in, we're not having any sex.
It is the lockdown we're all living with, and the news that the Scottish Government has announced an extension of lockdown until at least the 28th of May, with some small easing adjustments possible before then if evidence suggests it is safe to do so. Now, this is all based, amongst other things, on testing, which brings us to Neil Ferguson, the scientist whose advice prompted Boris Johnson to lock down Britain, who resigned after it was revealed that he broke social distancing rules to meet his married lover. Now, I have to say, Mr. Ferguson apologised, saying that he'd been confused by his own lockdown rules, which state that people could still see wives, forgetting, crucially, that they have to be their own wives. That was the mistake he made in that. I also have to add to this, after being caught breaking his own social distancing advice to meet his married lover, the former government scientist sought refuge from the media, and he did so at Catherine Calderwood's second home in Fife. So, safe enough. Jay, what about it? We spoke a few times during this. How are you getting on with lockdown now?
I've started various projects in the house to keep my mind occupied. The main one being my husband. He's kind of gone through an involuntary self-improvement course because he doesn't want to have to sleep in the garden again, because it's not even our garden. And lockdown's been on so long, I'm thinking about starting an affair with Alexa, because she's more obedient than my husband, and at least she already knows my taste in music, so it's all good.
That's nice. It could be a future relationship. Raymond Mearns, what about you? How have you been coping with lockdown?
Do you know what, I'll be honest with you, it's not any different for me. I mean, I'm just basically sitting about the house all day in my shorts watching the telly, so I've not really noticed. The only thing I can do is play my guitar loud, because everybody else is locked down. You know, all these neighbours work for a living and it's murder. When I play my guitar, they're all... Well, they're at the door, but I can't hear them. But apart from that, no bother.
What about this, Gareth? How are you getting on with it all?
Oh, not too bad. I became a key worker right at the start of the lockdown. I decided to get a job in a supermarket because I thought I'm not really going to be on stage anytime soon. And I'm quite enjoying it, I've got to say. I've been given a letter, right? I got given a letter and they're like, you need this in case like the police pull you over, and this is to say that I'm allowed to be out. which I quite like. It's like having diplomatic immunity or something. Like if they pull me over, I'll be like, see this? Key worker, beat it.
Joe, what about you then? Obviously, we've spoken as well a few times during lockdown. How are you coping with it all?
Well, I'm trying to get fitter, so every morning I watch the Joe Wicks video while eating my sugar puffs, and I've timed myself, and I have got it down to 25 seconds a bowl. So I always start the day as though, yeah, this is the day I'm going to be a new person. But then by the evening, I've been doing a lot of Zoom chats with friends and wine, and I've realised, because I do it at the table by the window, so to my neighbours, it just looks like I'm a really sad drunk talking and laughing to myself nearly every evening.
Jay, what about you? There's obviously different plans and ideas on how to stagger a comeback to work. Do you think that these plans will work?
There's no point in saying, OK, everyone can go out now, but the only place you can go is B&Q. They opened a drive-through coffee shop in Edinburgh, and it was like they'd relaunched the Fringe. Have these people never even heard of a kettle? Honestly, they opened a burger store, and there was 500-person riot outside, and the police had to shut it down and send everyone home. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when the pub's open? I'm worried. I'm worried for the bar workers.
Well, you're only going to have a 3-drink minimum, though. That's the thing. And I suppose that's good for social distancing.
I thought it was a 3-drink maximum.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry, I'm getting confused.
They're not saying if you come in here, you've got to drink at least 3 things before you can even get to the bar. So here's the question. Obviously, everyone's now speculating about when lockdown's going to be fully all over. Joe, what about you? When this is all said and done, what are you going to do when lockdown's lifted?
Well, the tattoo shops will be open again, so I am definitely booking for a neck tattoo. It's not for me, it's for my husband. And it's not that I think they look good, but I think they look really painful. And he's been very annoying in lockdown, so I need to have something to look forward to.
What do we think then about the second part of that mashup?
I think there's talking about what shopping will be like, or how we can do it in other shops other than supermarkets.
Yeah, absolutely
which is
right.
going to be weird, because I was thinking about it, because you're not going to be able to touch anything. You're not going to be able to, like, go through racks and try stuff on. I think men will like it. They'll just go up to the front door and go, I want a shirt, I want it blue, and they'll get it and leave.
Well, there you go, Joe. You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's the news about the changing face of retail and the future of the high street post-lockdown. Now, some shops, and this is true, are planning to put bouncers on the doors when their stores reopen, which I think is going to be really awkward if you're not allowed into Sports Direct because you're wearing trainers. Seems like the ultimate irony.
Well, no, they'd probably be, sorry, mate, you can't come in, you're wearing brogues. Is that not the same thing?
What about you, Gareth? Do you think that shopping's going to change forever now?
I don't know. There's a lot of talk about like everyone going cashless, isn't there? And every time I hear that, I'm like, I've been in the arts for 10 years, so I've plenty of experience of going cashless.
It's very true.
I don't know if I'd call it the arts, Gareth, but, you know.
You haven't heard all my fart jokes.
Jay, what about you? Have you been shopping or done any sort of online or in-store shopping when this has all been happening?
Des, I have been shopping with wild abandon. I've been shopping like I still have a job. That is how much I've been shopping. And I've been ordering things online in lockdown that, you know, like I would just never buy in a shop just because you can't believe they're going to deliver it. I bought a 5-foot cactus from a garden centre just so I could watch the guy try and get it up 5 flights of stairs. Honestly, I don't know. Has anybody else noticed how aggressively Amazon drivers knock? I think they've all been recruited from the police force. They're all retired police. One knocked on my door the other day and I panicked and I flushed my remote down the loo just to have something to flush.
But here's the thing, obviously, there's a lot of jobs are going to go through this, which is quite sad, and a lot of city and town centres will suffer by the lack of high street shopping. So here's a question. If you were in charge, what would you do to change city centres?
I think every clothes shop should have a little bar in it, and then we can do drunk shopping, and there's nothing better.
Yeah, we've got used to that.
How do we vote for you, Joe?
I like this. Drunk shopping.
I tell you, this is completely an aside, but one of the best things I ever did, which was fun, was with 3 women of my age. We got drunk and we went into Build-A-Bear and we had the most fun ever making bears drunk.
Where is it now? A Bears for Life, Joe. Where is it?
Of course it's for life. Of course I've got it and didn't just leave it in the taxi on the way home.
Raymond, what about yourself? If you were in charge, how would you change your town and city centres?
I would turn it into a massive scavenger hunt. What would happen is you just plank bottles of Buckfast and Mad Dog 2020 and just have everybody go around trying to find them. You know, so they would keep the kids busy. It would also have a middle-class version where we plank bottles of Chateau Margaux. That would be fantastic. You know, town centres are, you know, are pretty compact. There's a lot of places you can plank stuff.
And at the end of that round, the teams are all square. Now, so much of our news is about public opinion. Clearly, we're not out running around the streets with microphones at the moment, but we have caught up with 2 very good friends of the programme. And this week, we spoke to Newsnight legend Kirsty Wark and comedian Andrew Maxwell. So, Joe and Gareth, what story do you think Kirsty is on about here?
There's something about rummaging around, finding things that have been missing for a very long time and throwing them all together. It's as if you're standing in the middle of a field trying to scare the crows. We all need an opportunity to look a little glam, look a little out there, but not quite be out there. Makes you feel fabulous.
Well, I think she's talking about how people are dressing in lockdown, although hers was kind of weird because she went... It sounded like she was saying you can wear anything and look like a scarecrow, but then she went all sexy, so I think she's giving mixed signals there. But, yeah, there's a lot of talk about it. And to be honest, I'm kind of dressing the way I always do, although I did the other day, you know, I suppose you don't dress up as much, so I thought, oh, I will dress up today. I just felt like it. And then the reaction from my husband was fear, which was weird, because he looked at me and he said, oh, are we doing something? Like, it frightened him, because I think he thought, oh, God, she's going to ask me to do something. There's going to be effort involved because I've dressed up. And I thought, what a weird reaction.
And perfectly correct answer as well. It is the news that while we're staying at home, many of us are choosing to get dressed in our best, including the big names who would have been attending the world-famous Met Gala this week. And I do it as well. For example, you might have seen on social media, I always wear a shirt and blazer still to record Breaking the News. Nothing else, just a shirt and blazer. So a wee treat for the engineers in here. So what about you, Gareth, when all this is going on? What's your lockdown dress code been like?
I'm wearing pyjamas right now. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Like, lockdown for me has consisted of waking up, getting in the shower and changing into different pyjamas. It's been brilliant.
Jay, what about you? Are you getting glammed up? What's your dress code like?
Mostly baby puke. I know we're all miles apart, opposite ends of the country, but that sour milky thing that you can smell, that's me. I don't have clothes anymore. I have overalls. Actually, I had to do a Zoom chat earlier this week, so I fed my little boy and I put him down to sleep, and then I went straight online, and then halfway through I realised I hadn't put my boob away. My boob was still in. Luckily, the camera was not at that angle, but I was like, oh, boob, that's it.
I don't know if anybody saw the one. There was a woman in Perth that went viral. She was filmed wearing a wedding dress, taking her bins out. And I just imagine there's a cameraman that saw her in the wedding dress going, right, I want one with just you in the blue bin, then one with the brown bin. Now all the bins together. What about getting glammed up, Joe? Are you getting glammed at any point during lockdown?
Well, I suppose it depends what you mean by glammed up, because it's different in different parts of Edinburgh, isn't it? Because I live in Leith, so you're considered dressed up if you're wearing matching shoes, you know. But then over in Morningside, you can be arrested because you're not wearing enough corduroy, you know. So it's very different.
Standards are important. And what about yourself, Raymond? Have you had any chance to get properly dressed up in your finest during lockdown?
No, not really. Just when I go to the supermarkets, you know, I kind of wear a spacesuit. But and you do, you really stand out, because I live in East End of Glasgow and everybody's still standing there in the queue in their pyjamas.
Well, here's the bigger question then, because obviously during lockdown we're struggling to know what to wear. But have you ever found yourself over or underdressed at any time, Jay?
Yes, my first year at uni, all my classmates were talking about the Halloween party. They were talking about the costumes they're going in. They were like zombies, vampires, clowns. I thought, wow, these guys are really going for it. So I decided to try and impress them, and I thought, I'm going to take this to the next level. And I made myself a full-on werewolf costume, hairy hands, big snout, the whole shebang. Unfortunately, I arrived at the club, and I was the only one who hadn't got the dress sexy memo. So I arrived to find that all their costumes were made out of PVC while I had glued fur to my face.
Yes, you're absolutely bang on with the right answer. Getting dressed up on a Friday night, even though you've got no chance of chatting anybody up, and going home with them pretty much describes lockdown for many of us and all of my teenage years. Happy memories. Thanks very much. Right, to you, Jay and Raymond. Here's Andrew Maxwell now. What is he talking about here?
I am good at this, but in a face-to-face situation, I can do it on my own. I personally couldn't do this with my own family. Everybody's just too competitive. They're all sore losers, and I'm a terribly ungracious winner. You know, test yourself. Oh, it's good, but it's not right.
I think it's all of the online quizzes that we're doing on Zoom.
All right.
Yeah, it is right. Absolutely. It's the explosion in online quizzes taking part around the UK. This is stats according to the British Quizzing Association.
I'm a big-time quizzer. Seriously, I've got 2 medals with question marks on them for winning quizzes.
This is amazing.
It does my brain in. When you go to a quiz and you know people are cheating, there's no way you're looking at a guy, he knows that Mesopotamia means land between 2 rivers. He doesn't know that. I know he doesn't know that.
You know, everyone listening's writing that down for this week's Zoom quiz. That's brilliant. What about you, Joe? Are you a quizzer just like a lot of people are right now?
Yeah, doing the family quiz when we have never quizzed as a family ever. They did questions about members of the family, so you had to know. But I was very annoyed because they didn't seem to know anything about me. I was like, it's almost like they've not even looked at my Wikipedia page. There's plenty of places they can find out about me.
I love that. Gareth, what about yourself? I don't know about you. Are you quizzing? Are you doing the Zoom quizzes?
I am doing them. I'm not enjoying them, though. I did one the other day where I saw Jay laughing at his poop.
What do you mean you're not enjoying them? I've actually started answering my questions like they do at the Westminster updates. Like, what is the capital of France? I don't have that information in front of me right now, but I will get it to you.
There's one run for my street, like a neighbourhood one, and one of the questions was, in which city did Anne Frank hide? And a woman said, Birmingham. So the street laughed at her.
Well done, that's the right answer. A rise in people getting quizzical is correct, and 2 points go to Jay and Raymond. Woo! Yes, you are tuned to a socially distant breaking the news on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. So I'll play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. And Jay and Raymond, you're first this time. Who is this?
That does take a certain amount of application and dedication, but I think every day of my life I'm a better person for it.
So there's someone that's been in the news this week, so hopefully you've seen who it is. Any clues from the voice?
But isn't Nicola Benedetti going to... I mean, this is going to drive people crazy.
It's
so
right.
She's going to teach kids the violin on YouTube or something.
It is the news that Scottish violinist Nicola Benedetti has assembled a team of musicians to offer free music classes. The Ayrshire-born musician has said the online classes will culminate in a huge online concert at the end of the month, which is lovely. At school,
They've got a month to learn.
They do.
They've got a month to learn this.
1 month to learn the violin and play a concert.
Oh,
That
that's
is
going to be
sound
murder.
terrible.
I'll be socially distancing myself at that.
Absolutely.
Oh, here's the question then, because obviously it's a celebrity using skills and talents to help others. Do you think this is something that other celebs should do, Gareth?
I don't know about other celebrities, but I would like to... Like, all the online classes are pretty good. I've been trying to learn French. I was using an app called Duolingo, which is pretty good, but they put so much pressure on you. Like, it sends you a notification every day, right? Which I thought was a bit needy. But I started ignoring the prompts every day because I was like, all right, I'll do it on my own terms. And then one day it sent me one saying, these notifications are clearly not working, so we're going to stop sending them. And I felt terrible. I felt bad for letting down an app. Yeah. I was like, no, it's not you, it's me. I was like, well, actually, it's neither of us, it's the French.
Yeah. C'est moi. And Raymond, I don't know about you, everyone said at the start of lockdown, we're going to learn all these new skills. Have you learned anything whilst we've been in lockdown?
Ja, Desmond, ik heb een Dutch te spreken.
Oh, wow. Incredible.
Yes, I've been learning to speak German.
Really? How far along would you say you are now?
Just that. I googled it this morning.
Let's flip this in its head then. So Nicola Benedetti is offering online classes on how to play the violin. That's her skill. What do you think you could offer a masterclass in?
Sarcasm, because I think you'd be really, really good at that, Des. Do you see? Do you see what I did?
That's good. Gareth, what do you think you would offer a masterclass in?
I don't know if I could call it a class, but I feel like I'd be a really good casting agent. Like, if you give me the name of anybody, I could tell you who would be perfect to play them in a movie.
Excellent. Can we all play this? Can we all just shout celebrities at you and...
Go for it, yeah.
Joe Wicks. Who would play Joe Wicks?
Your man from Game of Thrones. What's his name?
Jon Snow.
You know the one, Jon Snow. Aye.
You sound like my dad. Your man for that thing. Aye. All right, what about us? Who would play Raymond Mearns in a film then, Gareth?
Brendan Gleeson.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice one.
Aye, good answer.
Let's do all of us then. Who'd play Joe in a film?
Yeah.
Renee Zellweger.
Careful.
Oh, lovely. Renee Zellweger. Okay.
Lovely.
Happy with that. Jay Lafferty. Who's playing her?
Christopher Walken.
Oh, that's because of my amazing impersonation. See, you guys don't know.
I don't know if you've heard Jay.
Well, Jay, you know, I've hounded you with rubbish impressions over the years. Maybe it's time now to do your Christopher Walken for us.
But you see, this is an ongoing thing because everybody says that my Christopher Walken impersonation is terrible, but it's not. It's just very short, but it is factually accurate, okay? So are you ready? You listening very closely?
We are braced. Go for it.
Hey!
Wow. Oh.
That's terrible.
That sounds like my 5-year-old neighbour.
I think it's amazing. I hope we filmed that in Zoom because I want to see the physicality of your face while you did that. Jay, that was hilarious. 2 points there to Jay and Raymond. That was, of course, Scottish violinist Nicola Benedetti. Right, Joe and Gareth, your turn now. Who is this and why are they in the news?
I spent a year training, about 5 hours a day to be able to handle that sword and do that. It was a beautiful time.
Hi, it's your man for that, you know, the impossible mission.
Is the right answer.
It's Tom Cruise. Yeah.
It is Tom. Why are we talking Tom Cruise this week then?
Well, apparently he's going to be making an action movie in space.
Yeah, it's the news that NASA is working with Cruise to film aboard the International Space Station, but it's understood that it's not going to be another Mission Impossible film.
Well, I'm surprised he's doing it because I thought, does he realise that he'll look even smaller because it's that much further away?
How are you going to get all the... It's an insurance nightmare. How are you going to get all the crew and all that up? You know what I mean? Where are they going to go to the toilet? I don't know how many people are on the ISS. I've made films, right? And there's hundreds of people. Where's the catering wagon going to be? You know what I mean? How are you going to get a rolling sausage in the morning? It's a nightmare. But I think it'll be pretty awesome. I mean, I won't watch it, but it'll be pretty awesome. And he's not going to land in my spacesuit.
That's for Asda only, too right. Jay, what about it? Obviously, Tom Cruise, do you think this is a venture that might be successful?
I don't need my film shot in the places that actual story is set. I'm not looking for that. I'm not sitting there watching Lord of the Rings going, well, That's clearly no Mordor, is it? Looks more like New Zealand to me. I don't need that level of realism. I mean, that is it. That they're supposed to be such good actors that they transform you to whatever it is. So I don't need it.
There's the other thought about this lockdown entertainment, various different innovations and shows that have been happening. I don't know if you've got any of this. What have you made of the lockdown entertainment?
There's never been a better time, has there, to be in lockdown in terms of the entertainment. You know, there's so much to watch, and like I was thinking, and kids, I don't understand anybody being bored. You know, because I think, when I was a kid, we had we had 2 kids' TV shows and a stick. That was all we had. And now there is just endless stuff to watch. And so I'm not really watching that much that people are making because I haven't finished watching the whole of Amazon or Netflix.
The chat is that Tom Cruise's next film is going to be Mission Impossible 7. That's where he tries to get in and out of an Aldi in less than 7 hours. Good luck, Tom. All the way with you in that one. Yes, Tom Cruise is the right answer. 2 points go to Joe and Gareth. And here we are. It's time for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
How'd you get out of a Zoom chat?
That's Holly Willoughby there asking what we're all thinking. Right, let's go for it. 120-year-old what found under a man's house?
Dead witch with ruby slippers.
120-year-old what found under a man's house?
PPE delivery.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, these are great answers. Not quite the correct answer from the news. 120-year-old what found under a man's house?
It was a mad tunnel or something, wasn't it? They find a tunnel.
Do you know what, Raymond? Yeah, you've got the right answer. It is a mad tunnel, as you say. I saw it reported in the news as a secret passage, but I'll accept a mad tunnel. 120-year-old secret passage, a.k.a. mad tunnel, found under a man's house.
How'd you get out of a Zoom chat?
Oh, there we go. That's our klaxon, which means that Holly has Willoughby'd. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Joe Caulfield and Gareth Waugh. Woo! Hey! Hey! And commiserations to Jay Lafferty and Raymond Mears. Woo! Hey! And we'll leave you with the breaking news. Breaking news just in. Elon Musk has named his new child something like X with an A joined to an E and an A and a dash and a 12. So it's either a beautifully unique and well thought out name, or while he was filling in the online form, his cat sat on his keyboard. We're still no sure. The bicycle industry has seen a surge in business in recent weeks as people avoid public transport by getting on old bikes and getting them out of the sheds and garages. This explains why Jacob Rees-Mogg arrived at this week's PMQs on a brand new penny farthing. And Radio 1 has announced plans for an online alternative to Big Weekend, which was cancelled due to coronavirus. An alternative show will now be held across 5 virtual stages on the same weekend, featuring acts such as Why Is the Screen Upside Down, Mum, I Can Only See Your Eye, and I Can Hear You, Can You Hear Me? The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!